Brazil jail term for comedian harms free speech, which is completely true. When the king starts jailing the jesters, that's a sign that the kingdom's about to fall into tyranny. A Brazilian court's decision to sentence a comedian to prison for offensive remarks about a congresswoman could have a chilling effect on free speech, Human Rights Watch said today. And that's absolutely true. I think jokes should be absolutely immune to any kind of punishment, especially if they were meant in the context of jokes, and apparently the guy's a comedian as well, so I don't know why he get yeeted over that. On April 10th, 2019, a federal judge sentenced Danilo Gentili, a political conservative, to 6 months and 28 days in prison for a video he posted on social media 3 years ago? Oh, for fuck's sake. In the video, he ripped up a notice he received from the Chamber of Deputies asking him to take down offensive tweets he had written about Maria do Rosario, a Workers' Party member of Congress. The Workers' Party. Okay, then I can understand why they jailed him. Political groups that usually have the phrase Workers' Party in the title, it's a bit self-explanatory why they are in favour of jailing people over speech. Stuffed the pieces in his underwear, pulled them out, and then mailed them back, making obscene comments about her. Rightfully so. We want you to censor yourself. He basically sent them a gigantic fuck off and shoved the letter down his underwear and sent it back. A man after my own heart. Well done. That is the correct way to go about it. No one should go to prison just because they said something offensive, no matter how distasteful their remarks. Yes, said Maria Laura Canino, Brazil director at Human Rights Watch. Instead, people who want to go to court over injuries to their reputation should be required to seek redress through civil law. The federal judge found that the video includes highly offensive and reproachable content that makes very clear his intention to offend. And? So what? She got offended. People got offended. That was it. Did anyone die? Was there any kind of loss of property? Was there any kind of loss of life? No. People got offended. That was it. But apparently, that should result in a 6-month sentence. The congresswoman, to offend the congresswoman, who gives a shit? Gentili remains free while he appeals the sentence. Criminal defamation laws are incompatible with the obligation under international to protect freedom of expression, Human Rights Watch said. I'm noticing an awful lot of countries don't really give a shit about protecting freedom of expression. Starting to go right down the tubes. But see, when it becomes the point where it's your freedom of expression gets restricted, especially when you're trying to criticise the government. I bet you'll all care then, but by that point it'll be too late. Because you can't say anything about it, because it's illegal. Criminal defamation... Oh no, I've just read that. Brazil's criminal code include the crime of injuria, for which Gentili was found guilty, which penalises of offences to a person's dignity or decorum. The crime of... bloody Portuguese word. Defined as an accusation that harms a person's reputation, and the crime of calumnia, defined as falsely accusing someone of a crime. Gentili was convicted of injuria. Well, I think Gentili has been a victim of calumnia. He's been falsely accused of a crime because, in the opinions of very, very, very many sensible people, offending someone is not a fucking crime. Brazil should eliminate those 3 crimes from the criminal code, yes. Offended parties should be required to seek damages through civil litigation, and no one should be imprisoned for what they say, yes. Yes, hard agree. The UN Special Rapporteur on the promotion and protection of the human right... Jeez, oh man, what's wrong? I've just woke up, by the way. That's why I've got my coffee. I've just woke up, so apologies if I keep buggering this up. The UN Special Rapporteur on the Promotion and Protection of the Right to Freedom of Opinion stated in 2000 that imprisonment should never be applied as a punishment for defamation and recommended the states repeal their criminal defamation laws and rely on civil defamation suits. The Special Rapporteur has emphasised that the states should take particular care to ensure that defamation laws, civil or criminal, reflect the principle that public figures are required to tolerate a greater degree of criticism than private citizens. That's absolutely true. See the amount of fucking shit and lies that get said about me on Twitter. See, honestly, see if I was a lawsuit type of guy, I would be a millionaire. I would be a millionaire. The Daily Mail would get it, the Guardian would get it, so many, BuzzFeed would definitely fucking get it, because those three places have actually caused me financial damage with their lies. And just loads of other people as well. God damn, I would be a millionaire. You're all so lucky that I am principled. Fuck. Because I would absolutely rinse you if I wasn't. The principles on freedom of expression adopted by the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights in 2000 assert that protection of the reputation of public figures should be guaranteed only by civil sanctions and not criminal ones. I would agree with that. Yeah. Like, for example, you can't just go around calling people paedophiles. Granted, that's something that I've done now and again on Twitter, but it's usually... You need to be careful with it. For example, see if it's an account that's not actually linked to anyone's actual identity, like if they've just got a screen name and they've not got their picture on the profile, then you're fine to do it, because it's not actually been linked to a person, so you've not defamed anyone, you've defamed a screen name. But, still, see this type of stuff happening, man. Comedians getting put in prison. It's worrying. It is worrying, like, the people are going, I am offended, this man should go to jail. Basically, this guy... This is the thing, is what this guy did, like, arguably, like, you could argue that it was offensive, but even though it is completely subjective, I would say that what this guy did was not as offensive as what I did. Boom, 6 months. Over 6 months. This guy gets sent away for. Which is just absolutely fucking horrendous. And he's appealing, and I hope his appeal's successful. I really do hope his appeal is successful, because he shouldn't be going to jail over, like... The thing is, it was clearly intended as comedy. He shoved the letter down his underwear and mailed it back. And, like, that's clear intent of comedy. That's clearly what he was trying to do. And it's the Workers' Party that are doing it. I'm sorry that I'm rolling a cigarette while I'm talking, by the way. I have not long woke up. Even though... Just so you know, I upload these videos later. Right? Just so that nobody thinks that I woke up at like 7 o'clock at night. But... I'm not sure what Bolsonaro is actually going to do in regards to this conviction. Now, I know that everybody was cheering on Bolsonaro and all that stuff. I've still got the jury out on Bolsonaro. It's sort of a gut feeling type of thing. Like, I don't know. I'm still unsure about him. But in regards to this guy's actual conviction, for offence itself to be punishable as a criminal act is absolutely fucking ridiculous, because offence is completely subjective. You have no control whatsoever on who you offend. Like, what is to stop me to go around and go, immigration offends me, gays offend me, etc, etc. You can't just turn around and ignore certain types of offence, because that's what it says in the well, at least in Britain it says in the legislation, offence. Doesn't say what type of offence, it doesn't say reasonable offence or anything like that, it just says offence. So I could just walk around saying I'm offended by everything. I'm offended by Theresa May. I'm offended by the Tories. Get rid of them. You know, they should all be punished for offending me. Like, that is the problem. That is the problem with offence. Completely subjective metric, and especially in the current climate, it's literally impossible to say anything without offending someone. I mean, I've got my London event in a couple of days. I've got my London event tomorrow, actually. Shit. And I posted a tweet saying, I'm going to be coming down to London. I'm bringing my magic deck. So if anybody wants a game of magic, bring your deck out with you and we'll get a game. And people were screeching on the tweet. And I'm like, I'm talking about having a game of magic with people that come to the event. Why are you mad? Why are you upset? And that's the problem. Everyone, like, pick something. Pick the most innocuous thing. And there will be someone out there who is offended by it. The only way to actually comply with this is to ban everything. Ban everything. Shut it down. All you can do is sit on the couch and stare at the wall. Right? And then that might get taken away with you because someone will end up being offended by sitting and walls. That's the problem with having laws and offence. Like, subjectivity has no place whatsoever in law. It simply doesn't, and this is why. Right? Offence shouldn't be a crime, and I hope, like, I'm happy that this guy's got the human rights group on his back, like backing him up. And hopefully they're able to get him freed, because it's absolutely ridiculous. More people getting jailed for jokes.